Yeah, today England and Scotland.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Don't worry about my hair. My hair looks like Bart Simpson at the moment, right now. But anyway, what a shame. Very poor game that was between England and Scotland. I think I'm gonna cry. Yeah. But anyway, I have got Jay with me. Oh, I'm gonna find out. Tonight we're not going to talk about anything about politics or anything like that. We're going to talk about mental health because we need to talk about mental health because not enough people are mentioning about mental health lately. So we need to do it. Hello, Jay, and welcome back.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
Yeah. So anyway, mental health. Do you think we are doing enough about mental health?
So far we getting there. We're getting there little by little. I will say it's not especially I don't know how in the UK it is, but in the United States it's kind of different about how people are treated in mental health. Uh, I know I'm not trying to be sound political, but you could tell how people with mental health are treated here, especially when somebody calls the cops. They don't know how they're gonna react because sometimes people could have schizophrenia or like a maniac episode. So they don't know how to control that. The
Right.
same thing the same thing in the school system as well with kids. Um, Usually when they have ADHD or anything like that as well, you know, they want to fill these kids with pills,
Right.
and that's one thing I don't agree on. Like I don't understand why they gotta like fill these kids with like these pills that make them really down. Because
Okay.
that's one thing I don't agree with so much. A lot more. I feel like we should just facilitate a lot more counselors in schools, have a therapist in school as well. Have a therapist and usually in the police department too as well. I feel like those guys. I know it's a tough job, but I feel like they should actually get some kind of help as well, because I know they seen through a lot of things as well, and they don't take mental health really serious here. But
Well,
honestly, little by little, we're getting there though.
Well, in the United States, Colombia, the Netherlands, Ukraine, all right, is tended to have the higher estimate across most classes of disorder.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they're trying to say is that the United States, have the most, kind of disorders with mental health.
Yes, definitely. A lot of these soldiers have PTSD. I remember when I was working one time in AT&T one time. I was a sales rep, and I remember I had this soldier. He just recently came from Iraq, and you could tell that he was devastated. He was really having the itch. He was really like he couldn't function well.
Right.
And then I told him like it's sad because he told me I fought for a war that doesn't mean anything. But I came here that I'm really all messed up. I have PTSD, he has depression. And then I told him like, why don't you try something alternative? Like, for example, like I know it's something like it's a topic that it's pretty drastic. I'm not sure, but I told him try medical marijuana. We know what for a cure for depression. He told me he couldn't do it because they would revoke his benefits away. So
Mm.
that's one thing. We can't do anything alternative because they will take away the benefits. So it's just not fair for somebody who came overseas and had PTSD and try something alternative while injecting something else, like prescription pills that will
Yeah,
will
but
not backfire.
there was estimated, right, 26% out of Americans ages 18 and older, right,
Yeah.
is suffering with mental health, right, in the
Yes,
US.
of course. Definitely. And I'm part of the statistics as well. I definitely suffer from anxiety and depression. You know what I mean? Like, so that's one thing, it's not really, how can I say this? It's not really taken care of. I remember when I went to therapy for the first time when I was 16 years old, they put me on Xanax. And then when they put me on Xanax, I wasn't feeling good. I mean, I felt pretty down. I felt pretty chill, but it was kind of getting hard to get rid of it. And
Were
because
you were you addicted to it?
honestly, whenever I had a panic attack, I will take them. And
Yeah,
whatever little
yeah.
thing that I had to take them. I had to take them. I had to take them. And I don't know if I could say I was addicted to it, but I would just say that because I would, you know, whenever I felt something bad, I would take it. And and I always had blackouts, like when I was in school. So I wasn't really fully concentrated when I was in school when I was taking those Xanax pills. I was taking Xanax, I was taking Zoloft, and yeah, man, I had at the same time I had to stop it. Honestly, it wasn't working for me. So I felt like it wasn't really going well for me, and I had to go. I'm not trying to say cold turkey, but I had to like go basically use it on my mind. I had to like control myself in my mind actually, and
Yeah.
see the other alternative.
Do you suffer with anxiety?
Yes, I still do. I
Yeah.
definitely still do. Yeah, I still do
Well,
suffer from anxiety. Um, yeah, suffer from anxiety. But people got to distinguish the both things. Like anxiety and panic attacks are two different things. Anxiety is something that you gotta like when something is coming close to whatever it is, like, and you feel it in you that you have an anxiety. A panic attack is something that comes out of nowhere. Like some
mm.
right now, I could just be with my friends and I don't know what. Then all of a sudden, a panic attack hits me.
Oh yeah, I know what panic attack is. Yeah, I've had plenty of them. It's here in the United States. It's got anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the US,
Yes,
affecting 40 million adults in the United States age 18 and older.
yes, correct. And yeah, of course. And it has to be so many reasons. We also got to go to the core of the problem. Why are young people having so much anxiety, depression? You can also look at because we millennials at our age group, we are having so much pressure. We pressure from college, pressure from work, uh, lack of work. It's so many different things that people are scared to fail. And you also have this pressure that you need to get on top, and because you actually follow the society in order to succeed. Well, you don't see that. I think that's why young people have a lot of depression. You also got to look at the core of the problem and to see that because I think a lot of our young people, I think they feel that they look at the system and it's failing them. They have student loans that are 100,000 K, whatever it is. They don't know how to start a family. They want to start a family. They want to buy a house. They can't buy a house. They can't buy a car, whatever it is. And so I think that's one of the reasons why they get depressed as well. And they look into an alternative, drinking alcohol or taking drugs.
Do you think the government in the United States? Do you think? I don't really want to touch on politics,
Yes.
right? But the trouble is, it all boils down to money, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely, of course. Everything's boiled down to money as well. Everything from the pharmaceutical companies. I feel like they just don't want to cure it. They just want to treat it. That's their main mission. What these pharmaceutical companies are being doing. Um, with mental health, there's money to be made. So now there's a lot of things that they're popping up, like for example, different prescription drugs like anxiety, panic attacks, whatever they have. So it's all about it's all about not curing. It's about treating actually, and it's all comes down as money as well.
Of course it does. Um, because you. So when you kind of like suffer with anxiety and depression and everything, Have you ever committed suicide in your life?
No, that's a hard question. Um,
Okay, okay.
I thought I thought I thought about it once. I thought about it once, but I feel like nobody knew. I feel like people gonna know. But I thought about it once. I was at my lowest actually, and I thought about because I felt like everything was going wrong. I felt like everything was not going great for me actually. Even though I'm supposed to be happy about it because I have my son, I got my wife and everything, but but I felt like in there's certain parts of my life that I wasn't succeeding, in that aspect, and I felt like, I'm 20 something years old. I'm getting about to hit my 30s. I'm already 30, and I haven't hit my goal yet, and I don't know what to do, and I have a child with me, but I couldn't think. I thought about that, and I should have never thought about that honestly. But I know it's feelings that you can't control, but I also got to look at the bright things in life as well. At least I got a roof on my head. I can't speak for anybody else, but for myself, I have a roof over my head. I have my child. I got my
Yeah,
wife. I got people who love me. So that if I do that,
yeah.
if I do commit that, I'm gonna hurt people.
Of course you are, of
And
course you are. But the trouble
yeah,
is, you see, but sometimes when you go through mental health, I don't know if you've seen a video about me, but I'm I do a lot of complaining about mental health and everything. Right? There's a video out there about me. I'll try to get it up and I'll show you in a minute about it. But
sure,
the trouble is, with anything with mental health, you can have a family, you can have money, you can have all the riches,
exactly,
right? But at the end of the day, mental health would just come like that, would just happen just like that. And when you have it, that's it. And the trouble is, if you, when you're suffering with mental illness, then people will come along and like people like friends and everything. They go, oh, okay, fine, and there could be other people who will just turn your back on you because you're afraid. Should you tell somebody like you're suffering with a mental health problem, right? Some friends might go, "Oh no, God, right, okay, I want you to. I don't have nothing to do with you. You're going to be a bit bonkers and all that." And
yeah,
there's
yeah.
other
Of
people
course.
who want to be friends with you. You know
No,
what
of
I mean?
course. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm a pretty private person, honestly. I usually don't tell nobody, not even my parents, not even my wife. On top of that, but there's times that I do have to blurt it out and tell how I feel. And, with my friends, I do tell them, but but I feel like I don't. How can I explain this? Like they just, if I do tell my friends about that, they just really don't. They have their own little world, basically,
Mm.
and and I know they have.
The trouble is because we are men, right?
Yes,
We are men. We're afraid to kind of talk about it. All right,
that
and
yeah, that's one.
yeah, and soon we talk about it, people think that we are like wimps.
Yes, that's one. That's basically that kind of one of the reasons what it is as well. I'm not gonna lie about that. Yeah, I don't want them to look at me. I'm weak. You know, but that's also my ego. I can't let that slide. I can't let that dictate me. And because I actually do need help. When during that prom when I was thinking about a suicidal thought. I didn't tell nobody. I'm really private, but also I had to find a different alternative like meditation, and I had to rewire my mind into thinking, you know what? No, I can't, because if I do it, I'm gonna hurt people around me. But I understand the stigma with men's. Yeah, they don't discuss the problem, and this is why men's don't tell the problem. They look at therapy as something that they don't need. You actually do need therapy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
of
that's
course
one
it is.
thing they don't understand, and I feel like they should take that stigma away into men's health. So and I've been saying it to everybody, and now I've been saying it to everybody, even men. I mean, now I could tell my feelings to my friends, but before I didn't want to tell nobody. I was pretty private. Usually, I don't tell all my private, but I tell people who I'm really close to, who are really, who are really. trust, I'm definitely going to, let them know the problem that I have. Yes, this is what I'm going through right
Yeah. What we're going to do, we're going to go for a break, then we'll pop back. I want people to watch this video, all right? You watch it too, and then we'll talk about more about mental health after. Is that all
Sure,
right?
no problem.
You got quite a harsh backlash on social media, didn't you?
Yes, we do. We got a lot of stuff, Twitch and Twitter.
And now it's what?
Well, I've lost around about 8 stone, 1 pound.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets, it's my skin. Well, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the
There you go. Sorry I had to stop that video because it was a bit too long. But what I'm trying to say there is, why I wanted to show that video is because sometimes when we got mental health problems or when we're feeling down, we sometimes find it so difficult to kind of like go through the problem. Instead of dealing with the problem, we hide away from the problem. Do you agree?
No, of course, definitely. And just like you mentioned in the video right now, eating disorder as well. Because whenever I had a problem, I go to eat, and people don't talk about that as well. I gained so much weight actually. I'm not gonna lie to you. From whenever I had a stressful situation or anything, my go-to was eating because it made me feel good. And and people don't realize that's a slow death that you're going through.
Yeah.
All this junk food that you're taking, whatever it is. And there was times I wasn't even hungry, and I had to go eat because it made me feel good.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that people don't mention. Yeah, people mention drugs and alcohol and everything, but also another slow death is food.
Of course it
You
is.
know,
Yeah.
definitely, and that's one thing that when we run away from our problems, you know, we do alcohol. It could even be sex. It could be sex or food or anything. That's
Yeah.
just only that's like a little band-aid or anything just on top of it, and it will go through. So
It's like
yeah,
drugs.
like I said,
It's
yeah,
like
it's many
drugs,
things.
okay? It's like drugs, right? Okay, take your shot, right? Kind of like take your needle and things like that and smack out your face, right? That's fine. But the end of the problem is when you come around and when you're cold turkey, right?
Yeah.
The problem is still going to be there.
Yes.
You can't kind of like get away from it, can you?
No. And this is what I actually do now, right? I have to learn to live with it now. I came to the point in my life that anxiety and panic attacks are part of me, and I had to accept it. And the only way for me to accept it is just that I have to learn how to cope with it, and I had to learn how to control myself. Because I know, yeah, there's people that say they got rid of it, but then all of a sudden it's gonna come back. There was a time in my life that I got rid of anxiety. I got rid of panic attacks, but then it came back slowly coming back in as well. So then I had to put in my mind, you know what? I had to learn how to cope with it, how to learn with it, how to learn live with it, and live a normal life with it as well. So that's one thing that that I'm learning how to adapt right now. Living with anxiety. Don't get me wrong. I still live with it. I still have my panic attack. I can't control it, but I had to cope with it. I had to learn how to deal with it actually and learn with it. I know there's people that don't know how to control it, but I feel like they need like a guide and help, but they definitely need to. Also, I need to learn how to stop eating. Like I look when I'm really anxious, I go to eat,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one thing to reboot your mind for that, and to get that away from you. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I'm trying to learn so much right now is
That's
because
just because,
my
yeah,
yeah
it's just because it's there, you eat it. You know what I mean? As soon
yes.
as you see food or you smell it, you're thinking, oh, the food's here, so I'm going to have it. You know what I mean?
No, of course, yeah, definitely. I'm not even hungry at all, and I still go get a Big Mac. And that's one thing. That's one thing I don't understand. Like, it just, anxiety gets you like that. Anxiety just, that's what anxiety does.
Of course, yeah, yeah. But the trouble is, are you still kind of like, are you still overeating? Are you an overeater?
I'm an overeater.
Yeah.
Definitely an overeater. You know, I think all my family, if you live in a Hispanic family, they'll tell you straight up. They really are mean people, honestly. Hey, they tell me that I'm really fat and this and that. You gotta lose weight. But I have thick skin, so it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I mean, I'm an overeater, honestly. I eat a lot, and but it's hard. I'm not gonna lie
Yeah.
to you. It's really hard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've been through it. I went to boot camp. I went on television. I went to boot camp. I was 32 stone. I went down. I lost 11 stone in 6 months when I was away. I came
Yeah,
back. I had a heart attack and everything. I've been through all that. But the trouble is, at the end of the day, right? No one can tell you got to lose the weight. No one can't tell you to do this and do that. At the end of the day, the only person who can help you is yourself.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Of course. Anybody can help you. You might have a therapist, or you might have a boot camp. You might have this video DVD that whatever it is that you're trying to lose weight or anything else, but it all depends on you actually. At the end of the
Of
day,
course
it
it is.
all
Yeah,
depends on you.
yeah. And that's what I was just about to say. We can have all these things in life, but at the end of the day, we got to start helping ourselves.
Yes, definitely. And we should, and I feel like the mental community should just say they always want to point out drugs and alcohol. I feel like we should put out food as well. Food is an enemy
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, we do need food, to live, but also excessively food, greasy food or anything that's sugary, it's a slow killer,
Yeah.
and
Oh
that's
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's really bad actually in the especially right here in the United States actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Anyway, Jay, thank you very much for joining me.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the chatting about mental health. Actually, it's pretty. We should have more awareness right here, especially in the states. Um, but definitely, it's really great that that we open up. People should not be afraid about what people think about you. We should not even think about that. We should not even be afraid no more.
No. Be
Be kind to
yourself.
each other.
Be yourself.
That, no,
And
of
next
course.
time when we come back, Jay, we'll talk about more about mental health and we'll talk about more about it. And what we'll do, we'll get the story out there, right?
No, of course, definitely, definitely, of course. Everybody has a story to tell. So it's always great to let the people know your story, and that's how we have a common goal. Be nice to each other, be kind to each other, and yeah, man, help one another.
That's what you
That's
got
one
to do,
thing.
Jay.
That's what we gotta do, of course. We're humans at the end of the day, and yeah,
And
be
at the
kind
end
to
of the
each other.
day, Jay, if you need anybody to talk to, I'm here. All right?
No, definitely, of course. Likewise as well, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
All right, all right, man. So
Thank
I'll
you.
definitely speak to you later, in a month.
Yeah,
And,
I will definitely do.
definitely. So we'll talk more, discuss about mental health, even men's mental health as well, because I know it's really important about men's mental health actually as well.
We
We're
will
like
do.
quiet
All
in
right,
here.
Jay.
All
Thank you
right,
so much.
all right, no problem.
Thank
Take care.
you. And
Bye
you.
bye.
There you go, guys. What a night. There you go. Come to the end. Thank you very much for everybody joining me. I'm gonna go bed with my Bart Simpson there or whatever it is. But in the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow with more stuff. Thank you to Jane Bucko. Thanks to Jay. Oh, thank you to Stephanie. Oh, what a night! Brilliant people. Nice. It was nice to be with nice people tonight. And guess what? At the end of the day, whatever we go through, just be ourselves, and everything will be okay. Love you all. Gotta go. Bye bye. Bye. See you later.